Is Cardano's price set to skyrocket, or is it just a big setup? Traders were betting big that a Cardano ETF would send ADA to the moon before the end of the year. But what if they've walked straight into the biggest crypto trap of 2025? October was supposed to be the month, with the final SEC deadline for Grayscale's Cardano ETF application just around the corner. But now, Washington, D.C. is in the middle of a government shutdown, and it's threatening to turn this bullish dream into a political nightmare. So, is this Cardano's ultimate launchpad, or a setup for a massive fall? Let's break it down. Welcome to Generational Wealth, your pathway from knowledge to legacy. All right, let's get straight to the heart of the matter. The entire crypto market has been glued to the calendar, waiting for the SEC's final decision on the Grayscale Cardano ETF, with a final deadline set for October 26th. Market sentiment has been incredibly positive. Some betting platforms still give it an 87% chance of approval, and this was supposed to be the rocket fuel everyone was waiting for. But then, Washington, D.C. did what it does best. It ground to a halt. As of October 1st, the U.S. government is in a shutdown over a budget deadlock, which has forced the SEC to operate with a skeleton crew. This isn't a future risk, it's happening right now. All non-essential work, which includes reviewing the pending crypto ETF applications, is effectively frozen. So that critical deadline we're all watching, the shutdown has pushed it into regulatory limbo. The catalyst everyone was banking on for a short-term price explosion has been seriously jeopardized. And that's the core of the trap. So if the short-term picture is a mess, what about the long-term? Let's look at the fundamentals. Because the story for Cardano is getting stronger, not weaker. First off, the institutional interest is real. The fact that a giant like Grayscale even filed for a Cardano ETF is a massive vote of confidence. The floodgates for institutional money are basically built. We're just waiting for the government to get its act together and turn the key. Second, and this is huge, Cardano's tech is hitting major milestones. The Hydra scaling solution isn't just a drawing on a whiteboard anymore. Hydra Node 1.0.0 is officially live, marking its transition to being production-ready for real-world applications. And get this, in stress tests, it has already shown it can handle over 1 million transactions per second. That isn't just a small improvement. It's a quantum leap that puts Cardano in the ring with the fastest blockchains on the planet. The ecosystem is clearly taking notice. The total value locked, or TVL, in Cardano's DeFi ecosystem has been seeing explosive growth. This shows that developers and users aren't just sitting around waiting for the SEC, they're actively building on and using the network right now. But what does this all actually mean for the price? We have to acknowledge the other side of the coin. The ETF delay, thanks to the shutdown, is a serious momentum killer. Who knows how long the political gridlock in DC will last? It could be weeks, or even longer. Once it finally ends, the SEC will be staring at a mountain of backlogged applications, and Cardano won't necessarily be at the front of the line. This brings us to a needed reality check on price. While you might see wild targets of $2 or more on social media, many top analysts are forecasting a more sideways path for Cardano in the short term. They suggest a consolidation range between 85 cents and $1.25 is more likely until the regulatory mess gets sorted out. Some even have bearish scenarios where the price could dip below 70 cents if this shutdown really drags on and sours market sentiment. And of course, you can't ignore the competition. While Cardano is building, heavyweights like Ethereum and Solana are also innovating and still command the lion's share of DeFi activity. Cardano has to do more than just execute its plan. It has to convince a ton of users and developers to make the switch. Trying to navigate this market means you have to stay on top of every single development. If you want to track these movements and get ahead of the next big shift, make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on. For trending topics and actionable crypto insights, join our Insiders Club on our website at GenerationalWealth.biz. So, back to the big question, trap or launchpad? My take is that it's both. It was definitely a trap for anyone who went all in betting on a quick ETF approval this month. That timeline has been thrown into chaos by the shutdown. However, the long-term launchpad is still being built, piece by piece. The focus has to shift from the political drama in DC to the real fundamental growth happening on the blockchain. The question isn't if the tech will be ready, but how quickly it will get adopted. Here's what I'm watching. First, the growth of TVL or total value locked on Cardano. Can it keep up this momentum? Second, real-world apps being built on Hydra. We need to see that incredible transaction speed being put to use. And third, any signal, any at all, from the SEC once the government finally reopens. Analysts think a flood of approvals could come all at once, which could light up the market with very little warning. The whole narrative has changed. The dream of a fast, ETF-powered jump by the end of the year has been put on hold, thanks to the government shutdown. That was the setup. But the project's underlying strengths, the powerful tech upgrades and a growing ecosystem, are stronger than ever. What was a short-term trade has now become a long-term value play. The name of the game is patience. But I want to know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Has this shutdown changed your Cardano strategy, or are you more bullish than ever? Let's talk about it. Quick disclaimer. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. Crypto is volatile. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Do your own research. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your support. See you on the next one.